Good afternoon, Trustee Holston here. Once again, we are at the Monee Heritage Center. This is February 12th, 2022. We just had a nice presentation by Betsy Youdris, and now we are going to invite Chuck Youdris and also our very own village trustee Scott Youdris to speak about their Civil War gun collection and tell you a little bit about that. If you come yet today, you can see this as well, as we are open till 5. So I will let them take it away.
Okay. What we have here are a collection of original Civil War guns and commemoratives that were produced by Colt in the 1970s and 80s. Start here, we have, this is an 1849 pocket pistol. This is original. It was made in 1852. Now, this was not issued by the government as a sidearm for the soldiers, but many times when soldiers went away, the townspeople or the family would buy them a gun as a backup, and they would carry it. And because it's a smaller caliber, it's a 31 caliber, they could carry it in their boot, in their belt, whatever, just in case you needed a backup gun during a battle. The other guns are that we have here, the pistols, are made by Colt in the 1970s and 80s, except for that one. This is a third model Dragoon. It was made between 1851 and 1861, and if you were to lift it up, it's very heavy. It's a 44 caliber, and the government said, you know, you can't expect the soldiers to walk around with this thing. And they had Colt design a new gun, which is the 1860 Army. We have another one here. Same caliber, a lot lighter. They could carry it in a holster. This would be known as a horse pistol because the holster for it would be part of the saddle, because otherwise their pants would be down a strap. The very first commemorative that Colt came out with was after the 100th anniversary of the Civil War. There was a public outcry, if you will, saying, please can you make some of these guns, we'd really like to have them. And that set over there came out in 1971, and it's a pair of 1851 Navies. The one that Scott had first was from Grant, and that's for General Lee. And you notice the difference is one has a rounded trigger guard, one has a squared back trigger guard. And what we have in here besides the guns, this is a powder flask. Let's put that there. I want to grab the bullet mold. And you can open that up. You could pour lead in there and make their own bullets. Percussion caps, which are just like the cap gun. That created the spark that fired the gun. And the last piece is what is known as a nipple wrench. And that's the nipple that's in here, and you would have to take the wrench and take it out of there to clean the gun. And it also had a handle that was a screwdriver.
The nipples actually are what fit right in here on the cylinder, and then you would have a cap like that would fit over that, and then when the hammer struck it, it would cause the explosion into the cylinder that would
spark that would ignite
the black powder, which would then eject the bullet.
This is an interesting piece in that this has a detachable shoulder stock. which would allow you to hold the gun and get a steadier aim on whatever you're trying to shoot. The stock comes off and it just becomes a pistol. What we got up here are a couple of muskets. The top one was the copy of British Enfield. We use muskets wherever we can get them. And a lot of muskets were made here for Springfield Armory, but then there became what they call contract muskets. They needed more and more, and they would contract with different businesses around the country and say, here's the plan, make these for us, which they would do. This one is a reproduction used for reenactments. It's an 1863 Springfield. And the interesting story, just backing up a bit, they're all 58 caliber, and that's what the gun shot. That was the bullet. I bought that at a reenactment maybe 5 years ago, and met the reenactor, and I said, what, are you giving up reenacting and just retiring from it? He said, no. He said, I'm selling that because it's an 1863 musket. And it seems that most of the reenactments I do are from 1860, 61, 62, and I can't carry that gun into the reenactment, which kind of surprised me because the earlier models don't look much different than that one. And I'm thinking, here's a guy out in the field shooting. What the heck is going to know the difference? But they do, and they're very strict about that. So,
this is what, 1853 versus 63?
Well, the original model is 1853.
Yeah.
But then this is
So that's where you can see how similar it really is. So from a distance, you know, but yeah, they want to be as accurate as possible when they do the
They really want to have a different shaped hammer a little bit, but nothing to get excited about. And on the end, you can mount a bayonet, which you wouldn't want to get stabbed by that, but people did. I mean, that's steel, and it do a lot of damage, especially in hand-to-hand combat. So, that's just a brief showing of what we have. I have more at home, but I need about 4 tables. So, if anybody would have any questions they'd like to ask, we're happy to do that. Come through the Historical Society and we'll get you answers. Where do you find these things? Wherever you can. Gun show, gun shop. Occasionally stuff comes in, and I mean occasionally, and you got to be at the right place at the right time because this stuff is highly collectible. Even though it's not that old, 50 years old isn't that old, but I dare you to go out and find one. Okay, do you have any questions?
Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate you sharing this with all of us. And Scott, do you want to say anything about what it was like growing up with this and this passion in your house?
You know, Civil War has been something that's been popular in our house for as long as I can remember. But the thing that I wanted to just to kind of share when my dad first got me into it, the very first time that I actually shot one of these, and this is one of the reproductions that we actually can take out and shoot. The actual process of loading it to be able to shoot, it took me almost 20 minutes to load one pistol. And I honestly sat there thinking, I can't imagine being a young man, bullets flying at me in the middle of a war and having to take that much time just to load one pistol. You know, it's why, like, you see some of the pictures of some of the Union German Confederate soldiers, and they had like 8 pistols tucked in every belt and everywhere on them. They literally would finish shooting and throw it to the side and grab another one. And the young boys that were there would go and gather up all the pistols, and you had other young boys, injured soldiers that couldn't fight, women that were there, and they're all in the background, and all they're doing is loading these pistols, and the young boys are running them back out to the soldiers so they can keep shooting, because it is quite a process to load these. So, yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Come to the Monee Creamery to learn more.